I never expected this from a classmate. Something happened yesterday changed my view on women's health. Yesterday, during one of our classes, we had a group presentation. While waiting for our turn, I noticed that one of my group members, who's a female, suddenly became tachypnic, started breathing rapidly. I asked if she was okay, and she explained that she has chronic sinusitis and usually breathes through her mouth because of congestion. After our presentation, she sat down and her face was red, and she was clearly struggling to breathe. I asked again if she was okay. She looked at me while crying silently. I took her outside and tried to calm her down, but she was extremely tachypneic and told me I can't breathe, and that her hands and mouth were tingling, which happens with rapid breathing, Batabo. I called the nurse, and the first question she asked was, "Are you having a panic attack?" The girl said no and mentioned that she has sinusitis flare-up, but the nurse proceeded to say, "It's okay, maybe this is your first presentation of a panic attack," and continued asking if she was feeling stressed or struggling mentally. Keep in mind that the poor girl was literally out of breath and saying she felt like she was going to faint. I was like, WTH? I told the nurse, "Can we please check her vitals? She has a sinus infection. This could be something serious." After about 15 minutes, the nurse finally checked her vitals. Her temperature was 39 degrees Celsius, her blood pressure was 150/95, and her pulse was high. I immediately offered to drive her to the ED with one of her friends because I knew this clearly wasn't a panic attack. And guess what? She was later diagnosed with SIRS, which could have progressed to sepsis if we hadn't acted quickly. As a guy, this situation made me truly reflect on how women's pain is dismissed or labeled as an emotional response rather than a legitimate medical concern. The sad part is that this bias came from another woman. I genuinely doubt the nurse would have said the same thing if it was a dude. No offense to those who experience panic attacks. They're absolutely serious as well. But my point is that women's pain/health issues is too often misattributed to psychological causes instead of being investigated as a result of a possible pathological process. Edit. I didn't expect this amount of women experience with the healthcare system. Some of y'all's stories are crazy. Also, I just did what any decent human could have done. Was I wrong to intervene, or should I have stayed out? Yes or no?